ដែនដីខ្មែរគឺជាមហានគរស្រងបវរតាំងតែពីបុរាណវប្បធម៌អារ្យធម៌រុងរឿងខាងការខ្មែររស់សុខសាន្តមានសិទ្ធិសេរីឥឡូវខ្មែរចៅចិនយល់ឆ្លៀតពៀនទឹកដីខ្មែរក្រកាយស្មាំចិនបដូរជីវីសឹកសង្គ្រាមខ្លាំងក្រាប់ពេញលើធរណីខ្មែររួមសាមគ្គីការពារទឹកដីកម្ពុជាឯករាជ្យបានធានទីតងខ្មែរបានសុខទាំងអងគ្រប់អាត្មាសូមប្រពន្ធឲ្យបរិសុទ្ធសាធុការសាធារណរដ្ឋថ្មីគ្រប់គ្រងផែនដីដែនដីខ្មែរគឺជាមហានគរស្រងបបរតាំងតែពីបុរាណវប្បធម៌អារ្យធម៌រុងរឿងខាងការខ្មែររស់សុខសាន្តមានសិទ្ធិសេរីឥឡូវខ្មែរចៅចិនយល់ឈ្លានពានទឹកដីខ្មែរគ្រប់កាយស្មាំចិនបដូរជីវីសឹកសង្គ្រាមខ្លាំងក្រាប់ពេញលើធរណីខ្មែររួមសាមគ្គីការពារទឹកដីកម្ពុជាឯករាជ្យបានឃ្លាតពីតងខ្មែរបានសុខទាំងអងគ្រប់អាត្មាសូមប្រពន្ធឲ្យបរិសុទ្ធសាធុការសាធារណរដ្ឋថ្មីគ្រប់គ្រងផែនដី
យើងខ្ញុំប្រកាសរណាសូមក្រាបថ្វាយបង្គំព្រះពុទ្ធព្រះធម៌ព្រះសង្ឃជាទីសក្ការៈសូមគោរពជំរាបសួរអាយដាមសាស្ត្រាចារ្យបណ្ឌិតដាំឆិតរីអគ្គស្ថាបនិកអគ្គមេបញ្ជាការឧត្តមក្រុមប្រឹក្សាខ្មែរជួយខ្មែររំដោះជាតិជាទីគោរពដល់ខ្ពង់ខ្ពស់និងសូមជម្រាបសួរបងប្អូនខ្មែរទូទាំងសកលលោកនេះជាកម្មវិធីទស្សនៈស្ត្រីលើកទី28ថ្ងៃនេះយើងមានប្រធានបទស្ដីអំពីគម្រោងចាំដល់លេខ9វានឹងយឺតពេលរដ្ឋាភិបាលសាធារណរដ្ឋខ្មែរនឹងស្ថិតក្នុងការគ្រប់គ្រងហើយយើងខ្ញុំទស្សនៈស្ត្រីនឹងបកស្រាយជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសមានដូចតទៅ Good evening and welcome back to Supreme Council of Khmer Help Khmer for Rescue Khmer Lady Viewpoint number 28. And now I would like to introduce our panelists this evening. Right now, actually we have a special guest this evening. We have KRISHNA Tess. She is our new special guest this evening. And of course, we have two lovely young ladies. I would say young. Ms. Chhyna Chan. And Ms. Kalyan Nou. And my name is Chhovy. I am your host tonight. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you.
To be back.
Yes, good to see both of you.
To be back.
Our last show, number 27, cover revolution is not an option. It is a must be. បដិវត្តន៍មិនមែនជាជំរើសទេវាត្រូវតែចាំបាច់ We all doing a continuation of carrying on the mission to liberate our nation on the notion that Lok Ratien giving Hun Sen the warning. Do not wait until number 9. It will be too late. The Khmer Republic government will be in control already. And in Khmer would be គម្រោងចាំដល់ពេលលេខ9វានឹងយឺតពេលរដ្ឋាភិបាលសាធារណរដ្ឋខ្មែរនឹងស្ថិតក្នុងការគ្រប់គ្រងហើយ Lok Ratien sent a strong, stern message to Hun Sen on September 9 and 17 of this year 2022. Before I get ahead of myself, I would like to see how everyone doing again.
Good. Thank you.
Good.
Doing wonderful. Thank you, Bong. And you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. As you have noticed that we have a special guest tonight. Her name is Miss KRISHNA Tess, and we need to close her camera due to her safety. She is another future of Cambodian next generation. KRISHNA Tess, please share with us about yourself, Khmoy.
Thank you very much, Chhovy. I am happy to be part of this SCKHA KHMER Ladies Viewpoint, and I have heard so much in the last 2 years. So much pertinent information that the young non-Khmer speaking and foreigners did not realize. I have followed this show since it started over 2 years ago, and I have learned much about how foreigners successfully killed Khmer and took our land. I am now pursuing my undergraduate degree in Manila, the Philippines, majoring in international law and psychology.
Thank you very much, KRISHNA. That's wonderful. And this is our number 28 Lady Viewpoint show. Please share with our audience of your lady feeling. You don't mind if I start with Kalyan first? Kalyan?
Sure, Bong. Thank you and good evening, ladies. First, I would like to also welcome KRISHNA to our Ladies Viewpoint show. Such a lovely name, KRISHNA. Bong, I am looking forward to the day that we are liberating our country from hell and 800 years under the oppression of the foreign rule. Our topic tonight inspires us to look forward more than ever to that day, the Liberation Day, Bong, because our people have been suffering for hundreds of years now. And, the other day I was very furious when I heard Bong sort of like mention that Seyhatmani applauded the dictator Trader Hun Sen for a job well done in the last 30 years. Well done in what? Killing innocent Kon Khmer? Right now, 85% of our people are suffering. And especially right now, our people in Siem Reap are fighting to keep their homes warm.
Oh, thank you, Kalyan. Thank you so much. Chhyna?
Well, thank you, Kalyan and Chhovy. I would like to welcome KRISHNA to our show as well. The holiday season is approaching very fast this year, and it's a great time to see our family members. As always, as Kalyan said, I am very excited and looking forward to the day of our liberation, Mong.
Great. Now let's get going with our show tonight. Last month, to be exact, on September 9 and 17, Lok Pratin sent a powerful and stern message to Hun Sen not to wait for him to come out with his 9th appearance. It will be too late. Can you, lady, interpret or put in layman a term?
Chhovy, Lok Pratin is very straightforward, and he will not monkey around with this idiot Hun Sen. Lok Pratin has already put in action plan to liberate our country. All the logistics are in place and on the ground, only to wait for command signal to strike from the ground and air from undisclosed locations whenever suitable and is needed, Mong.
Now, Chhyna, you are right on. The logistic has mobilized and the strike team are now in position. And Hun Sen is risking his children and grandchildren's lives due to his ignorance, arrogance, and selfishness. Lok Pratin is a very reasonable and passionate person, even to his moral enemy. But do not mistake for compassion with his focus. Many of his enemies have taken his compassion for his authority and responsibility for his duty as Kon Khmer. He is a very, very focused person. I hope that Hun Sen will think twice before about the well-being of his 22 grandchildren.
KRISHNA, what is your thought on this, Khmoy?
From what I have noticed, Hun Sen loves his children. Yes, he's arrogant and most of the time says many stupid things. I think he will give up his power and resolve this peacefully for the sake of his family.
I hope so, KRISHNA, but I am afraid his ignorance will cost his family their lives. Please remember that this man is in power not because of his education, but because he has no formal education. He came to power due to his willingness to kill his comrade like Pan Savan and Jansi.
Well, Mong, he killed all his opponents except those willing to play along with his political scheme. Example like Sam Rainsy and Kim Sika. The last French court case, Hun Sen de Vinci versus Sam Rainsy, was like a false flag for the Vietnamese and Chinese Communist government to work peacefully on this plan.
I agree. Everyone can see it with Braille. It is obvious, lady. Let me turn to the statement Lok Pratin made this, last September 9 and 17. There were 12 video clips for 12 questions related to this statement. I would like you both ladies to explain the statement in sequence and why and what Lok Pratin meant by this own.
Sure, well, I'll take that one on, Chhyna. Lok Pratin did come out strong and made a stern warning to Hun Sen, and with no doubt about that. Hun Sen has not dared to respond directly to Lok Pratin. He only referenced another political party or individual. I'm sure his puppet master must have warned him not to direct any words of war without Lok Pratin.
Mong Kalyan, that was very amazing. Hun Sen shut up like a bottle got corked up, in those 12 video clips. Lok Pratin did lash out at Hun Sen's very hard, Mong.
Can one of you lady please reiterate the best you lady can of what said?
Well, first of all, Lok Pratin made it clear that to Hun Sen, Hun Sen and his children, that Lok Pratin himself and Uncle Khmer are also the righteous owner of Khmer land. He also said that Khmer people hated Hun Sen and his family for the last 40 years. And recently, Hun Sen made a massive mistake by allowing the Vietnamese people to have the right to have an identity card, to have a full residency rights to live in our country, Bong.
Wow.
And Mong Kalyan, not only that, he also approving illegal immigrants on September the 29th of this year was an act of treason. Hun Sen is a traitor. His faithfulness will be trailed as the enemy of the people of Khmer Republic and will be prosecuted to the extent of Khmer Republic law for treason, Mong.
Khmer Republic law treason is very harsh, lady. If convicted, the punishment is like death penalty. This man has directly harmed Khmer and Cambodians and joined the Khmer Rouge in 1970. This man blood full of hatred. This man killed many people in the last 52 years. When he joined in the Khmer Rouge 1970, he has sold his soul to the devil. Now we have a short video to explaining why it is too late to wait for number 9. Bomani, please play the video. Lady, can you please shut off the camera? Thank you.
The Temple of Angkor Wat is one of hundreds of temples that make up the Angkor World Heritage Site. Angkor was once the largest city on Earth.
My name is Chhyna Chan Sid. I am very honored to read a letter on behalf of His Excellency, Professor Dr. Ray Sedam, to the Honorable Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, for personal and private official certified mail hand delivery on October 25th, 2022. The Right Honorable Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, 10 Downing Street, London, England. Your Honorable Mr. Prime Minister, Sir, we at the Office of International Treasury Control, firstly, we wish to express our gratitude for the past support that you, as Chancellor of the Exchequer, provided to us, especially with the lease of gold bullion to Canada. We congratulate you on being elected to Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and we wish you well in this great endeavor, where there are many challenges that will come before you. Many of these great challenges may be eased through structural economic support that we may be able to provide the people of the United Kingdom, especially in dealing with a problem that is causing the great dissatisfaction among the people, affordable housing. As we have done for Canada, and as we are offering to do for Australia, and on the same terms as we must be consistent and fair in our dealings with all nation states. We offer our support to United Kingdom by leasing a large quantity of gold to the Bank of England. Our intention behind this offer is to support the people of United Kingdom who suffer from a terrible shortage of affordable housing. And accordingly, we wish to assist your administration in resolving this huge problem. As with Canada and Australia, the terms of this lease require that the Bank of England pay a 2% annual leasing fee and provide a credit facility to OITC equal to the value of gold that we lease to the Bank of England. The credit facility will be used for enhancement via trading, with the proceeds being committed to an affordable housing program, where we will build several million homes over the next 10 to 15 years, while these homes would be available for sale at market rates. They would be leased at very affordable rates, usually not more than 15% of household income. To further assist this endeavor, we would utilize the most advanced construction system in the world, an Australian-based construction system that provide homes that are much stronger and more durable than the conventional construction used in the United Kingdom today. Totally fireproof and naturally insulated, this construction system is aesthetically pleasing and modern, yet due to the speed of construction and low material costs, these homes cost approximately 50% conventional construction. The benefit to the people of United Kingdom of what we offer is enormous and will greatly assist in resolving what may be the most difficult single problem facing the United Kingdom today. Sir, we wish you well and would very much like to do all that we can for the betterment of the people of United Kingdom through your government. Our offer creates no debt. It does no harm. We make this offer for the economic betterment of the people of the United Kingdom, as we are charged to do for all the nation states. We remain sincerely yours, Dr. Ray Sedam, JD, MJC, PhD, Permanent Executive Member of Committee 300, International Treasury Controller. The Office of International Treasury Control, 1133 Connecticut Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20036, the United States of America. And email rcdam9@raycdam.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bomani, for the wonderful video. On Kalyan, what do you think of this video on?
No wrong, as we all have just seen on the video, not much to tell except, wow, the world has changed, Wong. The one and only Kong Khmer is in control of the world financial apparatus. Luc Patien is the most influential man on this planet, Wong. His influence could change anything at his wish. Wong, as we all know, that number 9, the appearance of Luc Patien will be announced by the Khmer Republic government on ground in Phnom Penh. And by then, the drone strike already hits all the targets. The special forces had already captured Phnom Penh. The new Khmer Republic government will hold the new Khmer Republic flag in Phnom Penh. And all the armed forces of the former royal government had already laid down arms and surrendered bomb.
Wow.
Bong Chhovy, I have to agree with Bong Kalyan. She is correct. The drone or special forces will carry out the order to finish their mission. The outcome is inevitable, and Hun Sen will not be able to even reach out to surrender or wave the white flag. Why? Because drones and airstrike could not be called back. So therefore, when it is launched, there's no way you can call back. And Luc Patien prepare more than one drone, more like 100 drones at least, I believe, Bong.
Yes. Special forces are very lethal and very effective indeed. This private military is outfit of the best to be hired by Luc Patien. That is why Luc Patien is very confident that we will, looking, forward to rebuild our motherland to be prospered in the region in 5 short years. Okay, let me return to the 2 and the 3 of the question presented by to Luc Patien last month. One is regarding the war that will break out, and the second is about property confiscation from the rich to give to the poor. Kalyan, you can take one question about the war breakout, and Chhyna, you can take the property confiscation on.
Of course, Bong. Thank you.
Ladies, whenever a dictator like Hun Sen talks about a war breakout, it is very typical sign of losing position. And all dictators behave the same, ladies.
Thank you, Kalyan. Okay, KRISHNA, I know you've been, I want to ask you this. Do you agree with me and Kalyan just said right now, this dictator, Khmer?
Okay. I think that Min Kalyan is correct. Let me share with you all the dictatorship that have often characterized by the dictatorship. Okay, first, they suspend elections and civil liberties. Second, they declare a state of emergency. Third, they rule by decree. Fourth, they suppress their political opponents. Fifth, they do not abide by the procedures of the rule of law. Sixth, they behave as if the country belonged to them. And 7, dictatorships are often one party or dominant party states.
Wow, thank you, Khmer.
Very good, Khmer. You are correct, KRISHNA. But I would just mention the 7th thing up there. Yes. Again, it is the dictator's fear, and they use the war breakout to fear people. But in Cambodian people mind, they have experienced enough hardship under this evil regime for the last 43 years. You know why I said that? With full, uncontested, and verified data, we have 1.1 million viewers who views Luc Patien's on their YouTube account last month. So, and 85 of the viewers from Cambodia are between ages 18 to 45 years old. Ladies, people are dying for change, and we are very confident that we could deliver this happiness to our people.
Lady, I am very confident that the war will not break out again and again. Luc Patien is very structured and carefully planned out, every step. His strategy is to avoid any war on Khmer land again. As you said, I agree that Hun Sen is afraid now. As Lopu Sorpe said, Hun Sen is Kompong Slochim. Now, on Chhyna, what do you think about the property confiscation from the rich giving to the poor?
You know, Mong Chovy, I really like the word Hun Sen Kompong Slochim, Lopu Sorpe. You know, he nailed it. You know, Mong. Well, the Khmer, I wanted to go back to let you know that the Khmer Republic government is the government of law and order. That has a proper constitutions to abide by, and the government is the people with independent judicial system. Yes, there will be a proper seizure or confiscation, but it will be done through appropriate law and order with the same transparency. We even have taken steps to address this procedure already. If you recall it, in the last quarter of 2021, Lok Patin sent out 1,070 letters, Bong, to all the responsible corrupted tycoons and bankers to change their business practice and have a corrective action plan. I personally even read the letter live during one of our weekly shows, Bong. Let me be frank here about this. We know that under the current business environment under Hun Sen's, there is impossible, to succeed and become a millionaire without bribing the Hun's family.
That is correct. The Hun family has their hand in, everyone's business.
Yeah, Mom, these 1,075 tycoons' asset will be placed under special corruption task force to be set up. So therefore, again, a proper procedure is to be followed, is to give everyone a fair trial before we confiscate any asset to be a government property for the benefit of the people, Mom.
Thank you, on Chhyna. Khmoy KRISHNA, what did you think about this, Khmoy?
Okay, Namin. I think 1,075 tycoons are a lot of assets to confiscate, but they have been conducting illegal business activities to support the Hun Sen regime for many years. Now it is time for them to pay for this dirty business.
Exactly.
Yes, you're right, Moisre. These tycoons are all Hun's family web of a corruption scheme that the Vietnamese government infiltrated to annihilate us without us realizing it. And it is called rust corroding the steel, or in Khmer would call Chhyna. In the process, they made Khmer lives miserable in every economic sector.
And Mongolian, the 145 banks are all owned by the most of tycoons family. All these tycoons are in the real estate development or land deals relating to their banks providing the financing. So therefore, 16 million to 7 million are illegal immigrants with GDP of 26 billion USD. The average income is only $2,000 per person per year. But why 145 banks?
You know what else? Money laundering. What else, right, lady? Yeah.
Oh,
Bigger,
yes.
Mom.
Oh, yes, Mom. You're absolutely right, Mom. Since 2012, this evil government, as Mansom On, her name is one of the leading top official. She endorsed it and issued a 238 casino license.
Nice. Mansom On has been a Vietnamese spy operative from the very beginning since 1979, Mong Kalyan and Mong Chovy. This lady is a very poisonous to an extent. Mong, this asset of all the top Hun Sen's officials will also be placed on the Review Corruption Task Force as well.
Thank you, Chhyna. Before we know too much about, what the new Republic government will do, I would like you to help analyze why Lopu Sorpe used the word Kompong Slochim, Chhyna.
Thank you, Bong. I would be gladly to elaborate what Lopu, the slogan is, Kompong Slochim, what that means. Lopu Sorpe is referring to Hun Sen is very panicking. He's panicking right now. He's worried what he's going to lose when he lost. So Hun Sen knows that he has nowhere out. He has no resources to overcome what Lok Patin is doing or saying. So this was the first time that he has, he was helpless. That is why he came out to talk about the coup d'etat last month and sent the message to Lok Patin. But Lok Patin sent a message that he was even more helpless. Coup d'etat was not the intentions, the response of what Lok Patin was going to do. But Lok Patin said revolution is the intention and the possibility to use Hun Sen's puppet master to remove him. The Chinese or Vietnamese Communist government is going to do the removal, Bong. Wow, that hurts big times. I mean, it is hurting him and his tycoon.
Yeah.
But Chhyna, the removal of Hun Sen is not an issue. The issue is that life after the revolution will be an issue. There are many elements of unknown factors. Our special forces and intelligence team have identified the possible scenario already on. And Lok Patin reviewed every possible scenario to ensure a peaceful transition.
Thank you, On. Tess, you have any comment, Khmoy?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Namin Kalyan. Lok Paom is very calculated person. He's a brilliant man. And I know he will make the right decision when the time comes.
Well, thank you very much, KRISHNA. Okay, On Kalyan, you said ensure a peaceful transition. This is very, comforting feeling, lady and fellow Khmer around the world to know that the 800 years old nightmare will end, and rebuilding will happen soon. To ensure a peaceful transition, what would you say, of the possible scenario that Lok Patin has in place to ensure that the foreigners will not return or retaliate?
Well, to my recollection of what had been mentioned in several meetings, one, Lok Patin's already mentioned that, we would be removing the Vietnamese and Chinese poison. And two, Lok Patin has hired a top-notch private military in the world with a committee of 300 endorsements. Three, just recently, the Chinese Communist government requested to offload all the United States Treasury bonds for Lok Patin AU gold in the quantity of $1 trillion and up. And four, all the latest and greatest firearm are in position to fire at His Excellency's commands. And five, the targets are the Vietnamese communist facility and their infrastructure. And six, the Muslim community is awaiting to move on liberating Champa territory back from the Vietnamese Communist government bomb. Now, these are just some of the possible scenarios that are in place right now. But the most significant one is the target in Hanoi, top executive of the Vietnamese party, if they do not abide to Lok Patin's demands.
Thank you, On Kalyan. Thank you for summarizing the possible scenario of how peaceful transition was ensured. As we all know, the liberation could be possible before or on the next election of next year, 2023. If everything is in the best interest of Kon Khmer and their safety, because His Excellency, has mentioned many times in the last 12 months, even his previous two appearance on the live show recorded. If our time permitted tonight, we will try to address the concern of what will take place after we take control of the country. Here, the concern all one is security and safety of the country, food, public and weapon, and two, let me see. Okay, two, the future of the Cambodian People Party, and three, the stolen asset by the tycoon and the Hun Sen family. Four, illegal immigration, Vietnamese and Chinese mainly.
Well, the liberation will take place anytime if Lok Patin sees it fits. Millions and millions of our people in the country are waiting for this event, Bong.
Khmoy KRISHNA, what is your thought on this, Khmoy?
I know people were unhappy with Hun Sen, especially with the Chinese and Vietnamese took over our country. As Namin Kalyan said, millions and millions of our people are waiting for this time to happen soon. But like I said earlier, Lok Paom knows when the right time is to strike.
Thank you, Khmoy.
I'm going to have to agree with you, KRISHNA and Kalyan. It will not be the first revolution, but it will be most prepared and planned. Here is the event in the pages of the history of Cambodia in our time. But this time, it is a wake-up call from the nightmares of the oppressed people to end. In our Khmer history, from the beginning until now, the people's revolt has come in unison, and we could do it again such as before. For example, 1, rebellion against dictatorial kings. 2, revolution between the overthrow of Brahmanism in the 14th century. 3, the uprising of King Khan in the 16th century between 1512 to 1526. And then 4, various riots against the French presence in the country of the 19th century and the mid-20th century. And then 5, demonstrations on April 18, 1924. 6, the protest led by a group of patriots on July the 20th, 1942. 7, the struggle for democracy that the first Democrats organized in the 1940s. 8, the overthrow of Prince Norodom Sihanouk as head of state on April 18, 1970. And then number 9, demonstrations on the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th of September 2013. You know, Mong, I am convinced that we are ready for a change from the past.
Yes, I am convinced that the million are waiting for, liberation to occur. Let's talk about the day after revolution, the transition period. What are the urgent work that need to be done right away? It would be, the safety and the security of the people and the country.
Wang Chhovy, the urgency of the transition phase, you are right about safety and security of our people and our country. But however, we must do the right in rebuilding a society based on Khmer cultural identity and based on the 4 pillar principle of His Excellency Professor Dr. Raisi Dambong.
Kalyan Nou Patien's 4 pillars master plan for rebuilding our nation. As I am told, there will be an urgent transition plan and medium-term action plan to rebuild the nation from 43 years of corruption under a foreign politically enslaved person, urgent action plan for security and medium-term actions to build the foundations of democracy and good governance before the general election, choose to lead Cambodia with the process and safety bond.
Thank you, Chhyna, for providing the principal scenario of possible scenario. Can you share what is the urgent action security would be on?
Mong, there is no secret that our most urgent action plan is the security for the well-being of our people and the security of the nation. First is cleaning all the bad blood our nation has infested since 1979. And then 1 is the complete sweep of all the public institutions, ministries, and religious places like the Buddhist temple for any grafted personal implanted. And then, 2, dismantling the network of Vietnamese community center or association in Cambodia. And then B, large and small companies with the raising blood of the Vietnamese community. And then number 3 is dismantling Cambodia People Party, the party created by Ho Chi Minh. People confuse where the People Party came from. Well, they definitely come from, Ho Chi Minh Mong. So that's what we're planning to do, dismantling these government.
Wow, thank you so much. It's good to hear that from you. Okay, I want to know how about the security on the first day, the security and safety on the country, regarding food, public safety, and so on, and weapon also. Kalyan, if you can.
Sure, there is public safety and it is a must. We need to have 100% control to ensure security for everyone. The 2 most important are food and power sources. 1 is protect food sources and 2 is power sources protection bomb.
These 2 are the essential one. What are there that need to address right away?
Well, what needs to address right away, Bong, please allow me to jump in on this. I will name the following for the urgent plan of action. For example, one is to protect free traffic from Cambodians, and then 2, collect weapons for security and safety in society. 3, armed protections against return to foreign regimes and genocide. 4, confiscate properties and money that were obtained due to corruption. And then 5, recovery of state property. 6, collections of property and money of corrupt peoples to the state. And then 7, cancel all ventures and illegal concessions to return the land to the state, Mom.
Or how about the social economy needs of the people?
Yes, Bong, the social economics program is Look Patient's priority to ensure that our people are 85% taken care of. And I don't want to go into detail this program, but still I will, the rescue of the victim is to provide support to improve their livelihood for our people who need a dignified life, as Cambodian society, as owner, Bong.
How about the international, community? What is the plan for the world community to recognize the new Khmer Republic government?
Bong Chhovy, Hun Sen government representation is the corrupt government and the money laundering haven for the Chinese mafia triad, aka 14K, right? Well, the A Group's Council of Attorneys is already structuring an international trust policy to increase national and international trust and confidence. So I trusted that it would be a top-notch diplomatic structure, including assuring the Cambodian communities abroad the trust of the new Khmer Republic authorities, Bong.
I also highly trust that the diplomatic structure will be top-notch. 50 nations are already in line to endorse the new Republic government as soon as we take the control of the country. The new government, Khmer Republic, will bring back the Khmer tradition in our daily lives. We have a rich and unique cultural practice over, 2,000 years old. Okay, how are we going to reinstate our incredible culture on Kalyan?
Bong, this effort takes the core principle of leadership, which, we have no doubt about that. Good governance must exist from state and local administrations function of the rule of law, eradicate injustice, eradicate impunity, and eradicate corruption, Bong.
Yeah, the function of the law, of rule of law, eradicate justice, eradicate impunity, and eradicate corruption. These 3 things are not possible in our people's mind right now. Again, their mind is impossible. Chhyna, what will be the area to serve to protect Cambodian interests on?
Bong, to protect the interest of the Cambodians' people power, the core principle is that the government works for the people in the best of their nation interest. There are the areas in which today's government is not interested. They do not know, but they have no desire. 1, to protect natural resources and territory. 2, protect the rights of Cambodian citizens and human rights. 3, protect the security of the people and protect safety of the people. And then 4, protect the interest of Cambodians living abroad. 5, protect Cambodia's identity, honor, and dignity on the international stage, Bong.
The 5 areas that Chhyna just mentioned, all the new government or course principle. How about the 85% of our people dying, right now from this evil regime? They want, a quick solution. What are the solution to this own?
Bong, 85% of our population are primary farmers, and their lives have been complicated in the last 30, 40 years, or best yet, ever since 1979, the Vietnamese communist invasion, Bong. And the new Khmer Republic government has a very detailed layout plan for the next 2 to 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and even 30 years plan, Bong. And our objective is to improve the lives of our people. And the 4 pillars master plan are to implement the following area. 1 is the land reform, 2 is housing, 3 is land ownership, And 4, living standards for our civilian servant and for our citizen bong.
Oh, Kalyan, can you elaborate on this? You just mentioned, please.
Sure, bong, I could, but not in detail, okay? Because the framework needs to be disclosed later on. And I don't want to confuse people, but I will share the main principle only. The land reform, which is the land reform and land distribution to farmers who lack agricultural land, to the housing. The new Khmer Republic government will not have anyone living on the street. All Kon Khmer will have an adequate housing bond. And 3, the land ownership. Every Kon Khmer will be the land owner for each family and will be divided accordingly to the proportion of each family members. And 6, living standards. Every civil servant's living standards should be restored and raised to the level of dignity to avoid corruption. And every Cambodian citizen must have the quality living standards in an orderly manner, like any other nations in the world.
Under the evil regime, the king and the prime minister neglected, the people. As we all have seen day in and day out, the children drown on their way home from school due to the inadequate school transportation. People are chased out of their land for, benefit of this Chinese mafia. On Chhyna, what would be done under the new Khmer Republic at the judicial system? Since the land grabbing is a way of the business for Hun Sen and his crony.
Well, Bong, ever since the 1991 Cambodia Paris Peace Accord, which guarantees every Cambodian all the rights as stipulated in the agreement, not even a day of justice has been served to the righteous people of the land. Under His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray Sedam leadership, I can assure you that the judicial system will be between day and night, or darkness and brightness. Allow me to provide some of the outlined judicial court system and its independent here, Chhovy. First, the court will be recognized to be fair and independent without any pressure from any branch of government. And then second, review each sitting judge and prosecutor's profiles in case of each, and then reopen clean judges and prosecutors, and then reorganize the Supreme Council of Judges. Again, this branch of judicial will be independent, Mom.
In our preview show, we address the issues of the strengthening the economy, but it will be constructive to reintegrate again today. On Kalyan, please, if you don't mind, just give the main principle of what will be different under the Khmer Republic economic principle will be like on.
Sure, Bong, after we take control of the country, strengthening the economy is a must. I am sure His Excellency has an economic stimulus program, Bong, but the main principle frame is to rebuild this devastated country first in order for us to have a possible increase in yield for many generations to come. And I am going to lay out 5 possible items, Bong. One is technology. We are in the digital age era now. We must utilize the best resources of tools to conduct and increase our business. The country shall have the best private and government telecommunication system and computers. And Loc Pathin had invested $50 billion with the Australian company in the satellite system for Cambodia. 2, human resource. Increase human resources through vocational education and training with the best program. 3, accountability and revenue. Every government sector must strengthen the government's revenue and manage public expenditure responsibility bond. And 4, national asset territorial. Our border have been neglected. Technologies will be implemented to protect national and territorial property where we are disadvantaged by our neighbors, like the mine, timber, Tonle Sap. And ocean will be accountable for a better management. And 5, agricultural. 85% of our people are farmers. 2.5 hectares of farmland has excellent potential for revenue in the $1 billion bond, and it is stable. Strengthening the farmers to farm and produce a better crops and then high yield bond.
Yeah, this layout plan executive requirement is very structured and experienced team have, succeeded. Chhyna, what is your comment on this, On?
Well, as we said, like a broken record already, Bong Chhovy, 209 countries and 9 regions. I mean, look, Patien has all the resources under his control. The United States, the United Kingdom, France, the Arab community, the European Union, ASEAN, and the African Union. I can go on and on about this, Bong, but, plus the $10 trillion credit line endorsed by the European banking community and all the primary central will give us the maximum purchasing power any national could have. Maximum, Bong.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 209 country in the 9 region, many of us, we always said it repeatedly. On Kalyan, can you elaborate on this? Many of our audience not clear about how influential, Luc Patien has, his authority, influence worldwide on.
Well, let me share this one. His Excellency Professor Dr. Racy Dam's authority and influence is an extraordinary in the world. He is the only person on this planet with this authority. Now, let's go back per the record to 1988. When Luc Patien was bestowed as the sole heir to the World Gold Asset Mandate. Then the world body with the United States Congress bestowed Luc Patien with all the 12 plus world financial treaties with this financial apparatus. And back in October 27th, 2020, 7 days before the United States presidential election, the world community came to re-ratify, revalidate, and reconfirm His Excellency's authority. In summary, His Excellency is M1 with the Alpha Omega with all the 9 codes to the combined collateral global asset accounts, which is the jurisdiction of the 209 countries in 9 regions. So this extraordinary authority is very powerful in the financial world bond that made all the 5 superpower nations and the G20 nation seek Luc Patien's assistance. This is the best I can do with the last 1 minute without breathing with the 209 countries in 9 regions. But I could go on and on more, but maybe later, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I think it's enough for now, but we will show
so much information.
Yes. To this subject, the next show, and let's return to Luc Patien's statement. Do not wait for number 9. It will be too late. The Khmer Republic government will be in control already. Hun Sen and his group might be miscalculated again, and their fate will be very, very dark. On Kalyan, how do you proceed on this own?
Well, what I know, I think I know, maybe I'm sure, I am sure maybe that Hun Sen is very uninformed due to his loss in his own world of power. Regardless, we will see number 9 negotiate with or without Hun Sen with Luc Patien. Luc Patien is prepping and executing number 9 already. On this notion, we are looking to how to make our country better for our people very shortly, Bong. And for the first time in 100 years, we as Gold Khmer will have no one to answer to as a nation. We will control our nation's direction. But first, we must do the following to have the explicit trust from the people, as we as the government must answer to my people. It is essential to show the immediate changes to distinguish between the new and the old authorities in the field, like good governance, justice. We just lay out the principle earlier, eliminate corruption, for responsibilities and neutrality of civil servants, and 5, to protect sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity. One must avoid unhappiness by replacing it with another, changing from sadness into happiness bond.
Okay, let's say number 9 is here. We are tasked with bringing stability to the country. What is the plan of action to bring stability on Chhyna?
While stability is essential to have a promising rebuilding of the country from the 50 years plus war-torn country since 1970 at least. Once we have taken over the villages, the district, or all the provinces, we must immediately instruct the officials in charge of the Ministry of Public Works to conduct the census or review. Well, first we must do is detecting or embedding the Vietnamese official. And then 2, we detect the operative who has been embedded in the People's Party spy of Ho Chi Minh. And then 3, detect corrupt and abusive civil servants. And then lastly, find a civil servant who is interfering with the process. Well, we bring them to justice.
Yeah. Oh, how can we ensure the work will be carried out right?
Well, we will place our people as chief of staff to carry out the task responsibility of the civil servants. Bong.
Thank you, On Kalyan. On Chhyna, this is a complicated and delicate process to weed out the 43 years of a cruise problem. Please share with our audience what will be done to the civil servant. Again, we know that the top official, are tied to the Vietnamese and communist government.
Well, among the chief of staff or any other staff shall provide a list of all civil servants in ministry. And then the list must include the following: the name, their surname, spouse and children, birthday and place of birth, number of children, date of started with the ministry, their ID number and date, and of course, the character of the authority issuing the ID, and then carte responsibility for the information provided. Bong.
Wow, the process is very painful and will be, complicated process.
Oh, yes, it is
definitely
complicated, Bong. That's correct. You are right, Bong. The Ministry of Education alone has 120,000 of employees in 25 provinces. We are planning to use today's technology to get the information or data needed to restructure the new government, Bong.
Thank you.
Well, Bong Kalyan and Bong Chhovy, as I understood, once the list is received, the representative of the new authority must investigate all government officials involved in the following. Bong. And, the first thing that they do is to present the Vietnamese in government circles. And then 2 is, who abused the power by CPP leaders. And then 3, the corruption, definitely. And then 4, disruption in the process in the ministry. Bong.
Yeah, Chhyna, the 4 items you just mentioned are direct to the undertaking the Vietnamese government spies and removing them ASAP as soon as possible. A representative special task force should make those remarks in the new authority, and the Ministry of Interior will review any derogatory cases.
Okay, the government structure will be reviewed and restructured. How about the religion, political party and association?
Well, the religion center and gathering are the ones with the major problem right now, Bong. There are more than 5,000 temples, 70,000 monks throughout the country. The temples have many vice activities and have destroyed the Buddhism belief. Here are the action plans for the temples and association. One is to search for those who came to destroy Buddhism. Okay, search the religious people using the temples for personal gains. And then 2 is dismantle the network of Vietnamese association in Cambodia. And then last is that, we have to look for small or large company owned by the Vietnamese. Bong.
Yes, also, about the Vietnamese association. The Vietnamese boats along the Mekong River will be strictly prohibited from entering the Tonle Sap from Vietnam's land without the permission of the police authorities.
Well, thank you, On Kalyan and On Chhyna.
You're welcome.
I think it's KRISHNA, are you still there? Khoi, what do you think about all these issues, Khoi?
Oh yeah, thank you, all of you so much. I really concentrate on what you're saying. So to answer your question, for what I think, the Vietnamese illegal immigrant has invaded our country since 1979. And since then, something like 8 million has settle on our land, so big amount of, numbers. So if nothing is done without this, Cambodia will be like Ukraine, the Russian annexed Crimea in February 2014. This scenario is very much the same here right now. And I know that only Luke Palm can stop this.
Well, thank you, KRISHNA, for your impressive thought. And I agree with you on this. Only Luke Patin has the ability and plan to stop the aggression by this Vietnamese. And how about the sizable Vietnamese business operation in Cambodia? Like, the bank and the essential businesses. You don't mind?
Sure, Bon, sure. The non-violence taking control of property and operations like the Sokimek and other large company, those Vietnamese affiliated by the police force must allow those companies to operate normally. Also please remember that most large companies are economically essential and must be in operation, but under control environment, Bon.
Thank you, Own. Okay, our time is coming toward to the end of our show already, but we have many other, pertinent plan for action to share with our audience tonight. One is dismantle the CPP network and structure. 2, source of protection. 3, weapon collection. 4, clear and land. To clear the land concession, like the Lesa border area and along with Mekong River. Chhyna, what is your take on this dismantling, the CPP network and structure, Own?
Well, you want to know what my take is, Bong? We are going to capture and control Phnom Penh. All political parties have to suspend their activities, Bong. A solid foundation of democracy with new laws must be established first before allowing to reestablishment of political parties. This means the Communist Party created by Ho Chi Minh, the Cambodian People's Party, will be dissolved 100%. Chhovy.
I just love the way you said 100% dissolved. The CPP. That's what I want. Okay, On Kalyan, what is your input on this matter, On?
Well, Bong, what Chhyna just said is 100% correct. Plus, any party or agency involved with the Vietnamese control of Cambodia must be legally dissolved, Bong.
And then not only that, Bong Kalyan, all 20,000 plus possible people from all government functions, which including the police, armed forces, will be removed from their duty and placed under the security apparatus of the security team for safety, Bong.
The CPP organization will be dissolved from top to bottom across the country, okay? Their asset will be seized as public property of the new government. This includes like home, cars, boats, ships, planes, and etc.
And the security task force shall occupy all political offices of the CPP as public property of the new administrations of Cambodia. In addition to that is that all company of the CPP associates or belonging to CPP leaders must be legally confiscated as public property of the administration of Cambodia. Legally. Remember that word, legally. We're not taking something that is not legal. So this is going to be through law and order legally. Okay. Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay. What is their legal status? I am referring to the upper member of the CPP or political party. KRISHNA, you wanna?
Yeah, so if I may, I like to join this issue, Nami.
Okay. Please go ahead. Go ahead. I like your aggressiveness. Go ahead.
We must remember that Ho Chi Minh created this political party in 1951. That means their infrastructure is intact, and we must neutralize them and turn them into dust.
Thank you, Khmoy. Interesting thought, KRISHNA. I am sure Luke Patin has a plan to do that and more, and they would not return at all. Okay, On Kalyan, what is your input on this also, On?
Well, Bong, the new Khmer Republic is very structured, will be formed of government under the leadership of His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam. The legal process will be taken, logged, and reviewed every citizen, especially the high-ranking members of the CPP members. their passports will be revoked and there will be banned from leaving the country. Well, these high-ranking leaders must declare their wealth, including all their assets and money in the bank and at home or even abroad. This includes the undeclared monies that hidden in the house or other places. Well.
What about the daily life necessity like food, gasoline, and electricity? What kind of protected measure will be placed to avoid chaos on?
Their area has been overlooked, Mom, but Lok Putin and his security apparatus are very concerned about this. There is a high level of planning in place to make sure that the daily life of everyone will not experience significant disruption, Mom.
Can you please give some specific measure to feel safe about it on Chhyna?
Well, Cambodia import tons of vegetable, fruits, meat daily from Vietnam and Thailand. This is the enormous task, but it is done with cooperations with the people involved. And we are prepared for the worst, Mom. For the people are living in these big cities to ensure that we have enough food for everyone. Exporting products such as fish, rice, corn, soybeans to the neighboring country will be prohibited.
How about the sustainability and dependence?
Well, this is a long-term planning, but we must increase sugar production around the significant city. And we must immediately distribute seeds to all the locals and raise duck, chicken, pig, cow, whatever we can raise, fish.
Okay, one thing that we not address this, it's like electricity and the fuel. What do we know about this?
Mom, we know that this current government depends on outsources to survive. They import a lot of electricity and oil from the neighboring countries, Vietnam, Thailand, and we will address this immediately under the new authority, and resources will provide solution. And we will provide solution. And at this moment, I cannot disclose it yet.
Okay, thank you, On. Anyway, how about the weapon? What is the plan to keep everyone from harming Wei? That's an important one.
Well, good question, Mong Chhovy. Our country has been at war for the last 50 years. Foreigners want us to kill each other so they can easily take over us. There are many weapons in the hands of robbers and evil people like drug dealers and distributors. The security forces must do their best to force everyone to collect weapons, ammunitions, and explosives without being forced to do so. Security forces collecting weapons must search for weapons, ammunition, and all kinds of explosive hidden in the area, especially to reward every citizen who helps reveal in whereabouts of firearms. The security team must be monitored to collect weapons on land and water, bomb, armed protection against the return of foreign satellites and genocide.
Well, thank you, Onsray. We are running out of time tonight and still have much more to cover. I hope that we will, resume this topic the next time we meet. Before I end it, this lady, please share your closing thought. Let me start with KRISHNA first. Khmoy, please.
Okay, Namin. So first of all, I would like to say I'm very happy to have this kind of opportunity to be on this, ladies' viewpoints. And when I first heard about the show, I told myself that someday I would be on this show, to my ladies' viewpoint. And now I am here with all of you, Namin. It's really amazing being on this show. It's very thrilling for me. And I shall cherish this opportunity for the rest of my life, And this opportunity would not be possible if Lok Pa did not give me a chance. So Lok Pa, I am very thankful for this opportunity from the bottom of my heart. And I know our country will free from the evil regime soon. And last, I hope that all me have a wonderful weekend. And I look forward to being on this ladies' commercial viewpoint again soon. Thank you very much, Namin.
Thank you, Khmoy. You know what, lady? She sound like, Khmoy Devi.
She sure does.
Yeah,
a little bit more mature than
Yeah,
Kmoit
more,
Devi.
yes.
Kmoit Devi is probably she's in her 12-year-old and
Yes,
then
yes.
she's in her 20s already. So we are very glad that Kmoit Krishna is here joining us. We'd like to welcome her, and not only that, she is going to be our next protege, Mong. So we're looking forward to have her, as our guests as much as as often as it can get, So we'll welcome you, and we're happy that you're here to help us out, Kmusrai. But last but not least, I would want to share tonight, like we have stated, there's no precedented before the world. No Khmer government in the past has had such a plan for the betterment of Khmer people since the great King Sayavadaman II. I look forward to being part of this incredible journey with His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray Sidam. Before I end, I would like to share my thoughts with Alkon Khmer worldwide. The letter I read on behalf of His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray Sidam to the Right Honorable Rashid Sunak, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, which is, very powerful, Mong. No Kon Khmer nor any world leaders can make such a offer to a superpower nation like the United Kingdom of such a financial bailout of the hundreds of billions of US dollars. So, please allow me to say it out loud. All Kon Khmer has the capability, again, only Kon Khmer has the capability to able to obtain what we obtain in the future. Thank you so much for this opportunity to end my closing.
Wow, On Chhyna, that is very powerful. On, thank you so much. Now, On Kalyan, your turn.
Thank you, Bong. And for the conclusion of our number 28 show, our audience has grown into millions viewers each month, ladies. More and younger generation like Kmoit Krishna have joined our movement for liberation, that no one on this planet has a plan like our Lopatian, His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray Sidam. This movement of liberation will utilize the best available resources with no limited budget to get the jobs done in the best interest of all Kon Khmer. And again, I am very grateful for the opportunity, just like Kmoit Krishna, to be with you ladies here on this wonderful show. And last but not least, probably the most important of all, I would like to stress out the word influential. We all of us are used to the word powerful. An example, Mr. Putin is a powerful Russian president. Mr. Xi, powerful Chinese president. Mr. Biden, powerful United States president. But the word influential, if you really listen it carefully, His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray Sidam is the most influential person on this planet. He has the ability and authority to influence the most powerful people to change their policies, like the Canadian government, the Chinese government, the United States government, Department of Defense, the Australian government, and now the office of the new Prime Minister of England, Mr. Rishi Sunak. As we all have seen in the video earlier, the world has changed. As for now, I should leave it here. And good night, and may Lord Buddha bless all folks, especially Lopatian. Thank you.
Thank you, On. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Bong Mani, this wonderful video. Always, Bong, thank you so much. And second, Kmoit Krishna, welcome aboard again, and good luck with your school. We hope to see you soon. And of course, my two beautiful ladies here, I don't know what to do without you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you again.
Well, we don't know what to do without you either. So, that has done a wonderful job. So we're happy.
Thank you.
That we're all three here together. And not only that, we add one more person on board. So we are very grateful for this opportunity, a lifetime opportunity, like Uncle Yan always said.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. Tonight, we want to reach out to all Kon Khmer near or far have been following us, supporting us every show, and making lovely comment. We are very grateful for your support. I said our loyal audience has, reached out, like Kalyan said, 1 million viewers every month. Due to we only speak the truth, nothing but the truth. Our Lady Viewpoint group is working very hard to bring awareness to all Khmer worldwide to know the truth, all information, and what Our Lady Viewpoint stated, all based on Lok Batian advice and statement. May our Lord Buddha continue to bless all Khmer, especially Lok Batian, for his love for our country. Again, thank you. On behalf of our Khmer Lady Viewpoint, we would like to thank you, His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray Sidam and Ms. Van Ho and Luk Puso Pich, all SCKHK member, and of course, finally our supporter around the globe. As committed, the Supreme Council of Khmer for Rescue will ensure all the traitor will be brought to justice. Until we meet again next month, please follow the Khmer Politics and the Supreme Council of Khmer for Rescue. Good night. យើងខ្ញុំទាំងអស់គ្នាសូមថ្លែងអំណរអគុណដល់អស់លោកលោកស្រីប្រិយមិត្តតែតែតាមដានកម្មវិធីទស្សនៈស្ត្រីនៃឧត្តមក្រុមប្រឹក្សាខ្មែរជួយខ្មែររំដោះជាតិយើងនឹងវិលជួបអស់លោកលោកស្រីសារជាថ្មីនៅពេលលាក្រោយទៀតសូមអរគុណគោរពជម្រាបលា យើងខ្មែរតែមួយកំឡុងលើកស្ទួយជួយចិត្តកុំកាខ្មែរក្រៅខ្មែរក្នុងក្រុងស្រែងើបឡើងជួយរៀមឆ្លងយើងដើម្បីមាតុភូមិ ត្រូវលើកស្ទួយលោកប្រធានតែមួយតំណាង